Okay guys, hello everyone. If you guys can hear me fine and if the audio is coming through clean both from the sim and from my mic, just let me know in the comments. Welcome everyone to the stream. Swiss Lashy says, hey man, hey, what's up? Just let me know if the audio is coming through fine, because this is the first time I'm streaming with my voice in a while, and I think the last stream didn't really work out well. So yeah, so today 737-800 NG is out for 2024 PMDG, and we are going to just check it out. We have a full flight loaded up from IAD to Boston, so it's going to be a nice, short flight. We'll look at the cabin. We'll look at everything that's new, And obviously, I'm not a type-rated 737 pilot, so it's not like I'll be able to comment on how much better it flies compared to how it did on 2024. On 2020 compared to how it does now. But there again, we have eyes for detail, at least on textures and stuff like that. So we're going to check out. Just if you guys haven't bought it and if you want to see something on the airplane, just let me know down in the comments and I'll show that to you. If not, just hang around, enjoy. I think I'm the only one right now who's streaming this in 4K with high enough bitrate that you can actually see the details here, because I think when you stream on 1080p and 2K, all the details kind of get muffled up. So yeah, just let me know what you want to see. We'll start from outside here, and you will see that when you load up the airplane, you will see that these lights won't load up. But just wait for maybe a minute or so, and these lights the textures will finally load up. So that's a first time loading thing. Overall, from looking at the exterior model, add-on is reacting. That's great. Swish says, I really want to hear the engine start from behind the wing. Okay, sure, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do maybe one outside view sound review, and then also inside view, like from the cabin. But yeah, overall, from obviously they've added a lot of detail in here. Now, is it worth $30 or not? I don't know. I didn't pay for the upgrade price. I basically just bought the 800NG because I did not have 800NG. I only had the 700, which is kind of unfortunate that they didn't release the 700 before. But then again, now that I've looked at the price and it being $30 for the upgrade, I basically just bought 800NG, and I'm not going to upgrade my 700 anymore for 2024. I'll just fly this, because it's not like I'm going to specifically fly 700. So I guess that's one tip that I would give, is like if you're not truly into like flying a specific version and you just want a 737 for the sim, and let's say you've already flown 700, you can just buy 800 for this sim and not buy the $30 upgrade for 700. So now you have like two different airplanes to fly. Sure, you'll have to go back to 2020 to fly the 700, but still, because 700 released first, I guess, for 2020. Overall, looking at the model, it seems like they've definitely improved the model, but it's not like I remember. Everything looks, how do I put this? Everything looks higher resolution for sure. But I would say that at this price level, at the price levels that we are talking about, this should have been there in the first place. Like, this should not have released with the model that it came with anyway. I've seen some videos where this door, right, was like extremely low poly. You could see it from this side. Like I don't see it now, but I guess we'll see when we open the doors there. But yeah, very shiny. I would like to see some grunge, but that's more of a livery thing. You can't ding PMDG for it. But before going in the cockpit, I just wanted to go around the airplane and show you guys how it looks like in 4K. And these are all, by the way, these are all default liveries. These are not custom liveries or anything. I guess there are none right now. But that's the level of texturing we are looking at here, or texturing, or I don't know, like normal maps, modeling, whatever you call it. Now we can load up Phoenix and kind of compare it, but there again, like I'm zooming in way too much here. If you just look at it from this distance, everything looks fine. It looks great. And no matter what I say about this product in this stream, I still don't agree with the whole $30 price markup for 2024. 100% don't agree with that. Why did I buy the 800 anyway? Because I did not have the 800 NG for 2020. So this is like a completely new product for me on 2024. If I had the 800 on 2020, I would not have paid $30 for this upgrade on 24. I would have just waited, I would have just well, I can't even wait. Anyway, so I would not have paid $30 for this product, just like I'm not paying $30 for 700 that I own. Anyway, unless someone comments, if you guys want to see anything on the outside model, let me know. But I think I've seen it enough and I'm ready to jump in. So this is going to be like a very, simmer's look, not a pilot's look at this airplane, obviously. So from a flight simmer standpoint, this $30 markup seems way too much. I was expecting it to be somewhere around like $10 to $15 markup. Anyway, so there's the cockpit, and let's also move around the cockpit and and the cabin a little bit, just to admire the texture work. And if I'm not wrong, the MSFS 2020 model wasn't like a direct import of P3D, if I'm not wrong. Swish says Phoenix arguably did much more work all for free. I agree. I totally agree, man. Like, that's something I cannot wrap my head around, is how can you charge $30 for stuff that should have already been on the initial 2020 release. I like what A2A is doing. Here's something I'll say. I really like what A2A is doing with the Comanche right now. What they're doing is, they said that, hey, you know what? 2024 upgrade is going to take some work. Okay. It's hard to give it away for free, which, okay, if you're transparent about it, I agree. But they were like, you know what? We are going to keep it optional. So if you guys are able to make your Comanche work in 2024, which it does, we'll give you an optional upgrade to make this airplane native, which is totally fine. That's amazing, right? That's what I like to see. Phoenix, free upgrade with, multiple engine variants and whatnot. Again, I don't need to repeat these things. You guys know, this is just $30 is way too much for an upgrade. So from texture standpoint, I think I'll do a separate video. So I do have PMDG 737-700 on MSFS 2020. So I'll do a fully edited video on comparing some specific textures in the cockpit and also on the exterior, just to show you guys how different the modeling and texturing is, and what has improved, what is same, and stuff like that. I don't know either, right? But yeah, that'll be a separate video. Overall, I like how it looks. I don't see anything that could really improve here. It's a $75 add-on, so it's what you would expect from a $75 add-on to start with. Materials look good. Where there's metal, you can tell it's metal. So yeah, nothing that I would say that, oh, you know what, that looks bad. Nothing that looks bad here. Everything looks great. Let's see. I think there were some click spots where you can like flip through stuff. I don't even know if I'm interested in like going through all of this and reading it. And then there's also a bunch of like books here or whatever. I think this can like fall off. Yeah. So all this gimmicky stuff, like honestly I don't care about that. I like the cockpit overall. If this wasn't there, it wouldn't have, you know, changed anything. I'm kind of surprised like people care about like toilet flush working and things like that, and then PMDG obviously they have to serve, right? Like, oh, here's a toilet flush. I don't even know if the toilet works yet, but I'm just saying, like, these kind of features are just nuts. This can open or what? Okay, yeah. So this opens for whoever cares. Yeah, so this opens, but this doesn't. So that's that. And let's look at the cabin now. Again, if they say that, oh, they've reworked the whole cabin, everything looks great now. Yeah, that's something that should have been there in the original product, and if it wasn't there, it should just be a free upgrade. Swish says Phoenix at least gave us experimental. The literal next day FS24 came out for free, unlike PMDG. Yeah, I mean, so there's a lot going on behind the scenes, right? Like, there are some add-ons which have a completely different code base, and maybe, now I don't know how all of this works, but maybe the promise that Microsoft has made is that anything that you're using on 2020 will be able to directly translate to 2024, and that probably didn't work. So I would think that when PMDG loaded up the airplane in 24, it probably didn't even work. Like, there were a bunch of bugs and whatnot. So yeah, maybe Phoenix just had a different code base and it just translated over right away. I don't know. So that could be the case. Exofera says, do you think PMDG would make us pay for the 600 variant and 900 as well? Because if so, they are milking for... Yeah, for sure, dude. Like, every single variant is whatever it might be, like $30. I think 700, whatever the 700 costs, right? This one was $75. The 700's probably, I don't know, like 69 or something like that, and they would give a 30% discount on that. 60% discount on that. That's also around $20 or something. And anyway, so by the way, even if they have reworked the whole cabin and whatnot, it's not like the cabin is still Phoenix level, okay? It's still not like the cabin is Phoenix level. And this video is not going to turn into trashing on PMDG, because I use their products and they do serve, right? I'm just against the whole pricing model that they have, which goes completely against the parallel study level developers that we see. And then they say they kind of have this marketing technique that, oh, we reworked the cabin, we reworked the sounds, and then when you hear the sounds and when you look at the cabin, it's kind of still something worse than what we got on Phoenix for free. So I'm not saying it's bad. It's just that when you do a relative comparison and the stuff that they market, that hey, this is what we are charging for, all of this requires work. Well, yeah. I mean, that work should have been done on 2020 when you sold this airplane for $75. So that's the only point here. But anyway, so that's our cabin. Still low poly compared to Phoenix, but I'm assuming they took the more, performance optimal path, and we'll see how the performance looks like. These open up now, and another feature or whatever you call it that they've added is that when you land and if you do a hard landing, that can also open up these cabin storage compartments. Exofera says, personally, I would say 85% discount for 2020 users. That is at least a more sensible discount since they need more money. Sure, yeah, 85% would have. By the way, 12 people watching and we just have 2 likes. I would highly appreciate if you guys could leave a like on the video. It helps with the algorithm and all that fun stuff. Anyway, personally, I would say 85% discount. I would agree with that. I would agree with 85% discount. Because, like, sure, you need to keep the team alive and keep the work going. And it's not like they're just working with these simmers, right? They have their own contracts. I think I looked up the PMDG revenue at some point, and it's no joke, honestly. Let me look it up again. I think it was in some double-digit millions. Let's see. PMDG. I roughly remember a number of like 24 point. Yeah, that's what it was. 24.4 million in 2024. 24.4 million revenue in 2024. So anyone who's talking to me about like you need to keep the team alive and whatnot, like we know, we know how much these guys are making. Okay, so anyway, this is not to say that any work should be free, but like Exofera said, right, 85% is a fair discount for users, because we already paid full price for the 2020 version. So it's only fair that if it's a refurbished thing with maybe a few more features and whatnot, it should be 15% of the price. But anyway, enough of that. I think you can also hang your coat here or something. Or is that gone? Oh, I guess that works only in walk around mode. By the way, all of that, works fine. Walk around mode. Here's walk around mode. Works great. No issues here. And then I think you can also open the door. Yeah, there you go. All the animations are good. Maybe a little bit low FPS animations there, but yeah, you see that? A little bit low FPS animation. One thing I want to check is I remember the yoke animation being very low FPS. Also another thing, let me show you guys my settings so that you know what I'm working with. 3x DLAA, 200, and then all ultra. Okay, that's what we're working with. And then I'll also turn on my afterburner performance so that you guys can see what frames I'm getting. And this is with 3x MFG, by the way. So 164, 176, something like that with 3x MFG. So yeah, walk around mode works fine. I don't really know how to like climb up and all that, so we'll not do that. Zofira says that's crazy revenue. Yeah, it is, and I'm not surprised. Like, look at how many users you have on MSFS since 2020 released. It's crazy. And then you're like, oh, you know, everyone needs to get paid. Yeah, you definitely, most definitely are getting paid. I have no doubts of that. Okay, so I think we can start our flight so that we can see how this thing acts. Okay, now talking about frames. Okay, 182, 190, 192, 188. That's what we're getting here at IAD. Okay, let me see if my seating position is correct, because I feel like there's something wrong with my I guess it is correct. You know what, I want to compare the performance before we start this flight. So what I'm gonna do is we have 188, 189. Okay, so roughly around, I would say around 190 FPS. Swish is asking for settings. Settings are all ultra, and I have TLOD set to 200. The mic says, can you check frame rate without any frame gen but using TAA and then DLA? Sure, yeah, we can do that. By the way, my goal is to fly, but then if you guys want to see something specific, I am fine with even just demoing the aircraft for you guys. I don't need to do a full flight. I can just change the title. VSync off, we'll turn that off. Okay, so TAA, no frame gen, save, resume. Let's see how that does. 60, 62 FPS, 58. So roughly like 60 FPS is what we're getting. But it's atrocious when I pan around. Remember, this is all ultra and 4K and TLOD of 200. So yeah, that's 60 FPS. And then what else did you say? TAA and then DLAA. Okay. So let's see. 60 FPS with TAA, and then same, like roughly 58, 60 FPS with DLAA as well. And I would expect that's what would happen. This is something I've seen in other situations as well. So yeah, frame gen is the way to go. So some people say that, oh, you know, if you're getting 60 FPS, it's good enough and things like that. No. If I have MFG, I'm going to use it. Look at how much smoother it looks. Anyway, so what I was getting at is we're getting somewhere between 180 and 190 FPS with the PMDG 737-800. I'm going to go back and I'm going to load the Phoenix A320 at the same gate in the same situation with all the traffic and see how much FPS we get. Okay, we are seeing some drops in the 170s, 180s, but roughly most of the time we are running between 180 and 190. So let's go back and do this, and then we'll reload and start the flight. Airman Roman is asking, hey, what application are you using to read the PC performance? That's MSI Afterburner. That's what I'm using. Okay, so I'm gonna spawn in A320. Remember, okay, 180 to 190 is what we were getting. Where was I? IAD. Weather is the same. No difference in weather. We are also going to change time to daytime. By the way, using Active Sky and also using Beyond ATC with traffic set to 5, 5, and 5. Swish is asking, any reason why not 4x MFG? Yes, so sometimes when I use 4x MFG, the base frame rates drop quite a bit. So I would want to at least keep my base frame rates higher and then apply MFG on top of it. Because remember, as you go higher on the MFG multiples, your base frame rates go down slowly. So that's the reason I switch between 3x and 4x. Like if I am flying general aviation, I would fly 4x. But if I'm flying IFR with airliners, usually more taxing on frame rates, I would fly then I would fly. I'm reading chat, that's why I'm pausing, by the way. Mammoth says, has the external model improved? Yes, it has. By how much? I'm gonna make a separate video on that, because I still need to like open both this. It's a tedious process, right? Open both the sims and take screenshots and stuff like that, and then merge them in the same angles and everything. Okay, so we are in daytime here. Same settings. Okay, same, let's turn on EFB because our PMDG EFB was on, and we are getting somewhere between 160 and 170 FPS. So with PMDG we were getting you know what, let's just compare like without frame gen, because that's something we know for sure, that we were getting 60 FPS dot. Okay, so let's compare without frame gen. So with Phoenix we are getting about, I would say 7 FPS, 8 FPS, 10 FPS. Okay, so with Phoenix we are getting about 5 to 10 FPS lower than what we get with the 737 PMDG 737. So you have to give credit to PMDG here, that they have optimized the model pretty good. Okay, you have to give the credit, because 5 to 10 FPS is not a small number. For sure not a small number. That could be the difference between having stutters and not seeing stutters and having a smooth experience for quite a few people who are using mid-range PCs. So I would say definitely PMDG has killed it in terms of the performance optimization. And I'm thinking that modeling the cabin perfectly and all that, I think that all of that like kind of adds up to providing a really good performance. Like for example, if I go back here, right, in Phoenix, you will see that these models, like the 3D model of the seat handle and stuff, they're extremely high resolution. Okay, and the same thing we saw on PMDG. It's not that much, right? It's not that high res, and all of this probably adds up to around 5 to 10 FPS, which I guess I'll take it. And more than me, I guess people who are running mid-range PCs would definitely take this choose this optimized model over something that has a very highly defined cabin. Anyway, so we are going back to PMDG now, and I'm not going to switch airplanes anymore because this stream is not about comparing it to others, but I just wanted to see. I was just curious, and I'm impressed. Like the way they've optimized it, I'm impressed. Okay, let's go back to the same parking here and start our flight. The mic says, Exofier says, I'm just wondering, I'm the only one that lost my frame generation. I previously had it, but somehow it disappeared from my sim. If anyone knows some trouble, oh, I know what that could be. Can you check in your settings whether your hardware accelerated GPU something is enabled? Let me show you real quick. on what that could be. Hardware, graphics. So if you go to graphics settings, and then if you go to advanced graphics settings, do you have this disabled? Hardware accelerated GPU scheduling. If this is disabled, you will not have frame generation inside of MSFS options. If this is enabled, then you will see the frame gen option. So maybe that's your issue. If not, we can talk more, but I'm 90% sure that's your issue. Swish says good to hear. Okay. And Mike, PMDG uses C++, which accounts a lot for their better performance. Huh, interesting. I didn't know that. Could be the case. That probably also put them in a really bad spot in terms of getting their products out for 2024, because I think the C++ products were not working. Exofir says hardware accelerated GPU scheduling set to on. Oh, okay. And you're still not seeing the options? Interesting. That stumps me a little bit because I don't know why I run DAA. Oh yeah, I remember. So Island Sim Pilot had uploaded a video showing how much better DLAA is compared to TAA. That's why I switched to this. Anyway, so going back to the cockpit, even the textures at night look pretty good. On the 777, I have that problem with the textures looking very weird at night, but this, since it's a native product, it looks very natural. Everything looks great here. Let's go back in time. There we go. And then we have Beyond ATC loaded up. I'm going to hide the frames because you know what performance I'm getting. Exofir, I'm not sure then what it could be. Let me see real quick, because I have notes from previous troubleshooting. So one is that could be hags. Update driver, try. Yeah. And then under, I don't think there was any DX11 at all in this, so that's not it as well. Before there was this problem where I was running it on DX11 and that's why I was not seeing the frame gen. But yeah, if that's not it, then I'm not sure honestly what it might be. Swish says, in my experience, TAA looks more sharper. Maybe it differs from system to system. I don't think so. I think I saw a video from Island Sim Pilot a while back, maybe like 2 or 3 months back, where he was comparing. You could see stuff from further away, like let's say there's a light pole or something. You could see it from further away with DLAA, but with TAA for some reason it just removes it. Like it was weird. Like the video title was something like TAA versus DLAA comparison, why you should not be running TA or something like that. I forgot. Anyway, let's start our flight. Request data from SimBrief. I think I'm late already for this one, but it's fine. Do we have traffic loaded up? Also, let me get rid of all the ground connections. I wish they didn't have this stairs and stuff loading in every time you load the airplane. I don't think there's an option to. DLAA has less fizzle, image is more stable. Maybe, yeah. I just know that I saw that video and I was like, yeah, for sure I'm not using. Now, question for you guys. Are you guys able to hear my sim? When I start the airplane, let me know if you guys are able to hear my sim properly, because I want you guys to hear the engine sounds and stuff. So let me know if it's not loud enough and I'll turn it up, okay? So let's get this out of the way first. And by the way, I have track IR. I just haven't enabled it yet because I thought I'll enable it when we actually fly. So this is going down. Yeah, hopefully you hear the sim enough. And let me also connect. The mic says I can hear it fine. Okay, good. Where's my GPU? Ground connection. Yeah, start a ground power. There you go. Connecting ground power. Nav data is out of date. Yeah, I didn't mess with that yet. Okay, and let's get the GPU on. There is ground power available. One thing I'll say for now is in the sounds, I don't hear that bass. And maybe that's my headphones or something, I don't know. But I just can't hear that bass. And like Robert said in his last video, right, sounds are perceived different by everyone. Zafira says, if I'm not mistaken, you can remove the static stairs from PMDG when you first load the aircraft. I think the way I did it was under FS actions and okay. Yeah, I would like to do that. I'll find it and try to do that. I think it might be somewhere here, and yeah, we'll figure it out. Let's see, reference airport IAD. Of course, not following any procedures or anything, because it's been so long since I've even flown a 737. I've been so much into the A320s because like nothing else was available, so what do you even do? So this is going to be a fun one. And by the way, when we load up, let me also restart Beyond ATC, because it seems like it's killed my traffic for some reason. So we'll just restart it so that we have all the traffic. And I'll also get back to comments here. Swish says, one thing the sound is lacking is rumble from behind the winds. I agree. That bass rumble is not there. I didn't hear it through my AirPods, I did not hear it through my studio headphones, and I did not hear it in my gaming headphones. I tried listening to that video from the PMDG YouTube channel multiple times on like different devices, from the phone, on my PC, but I just couldn't hear that rumble. Looks like they focus more in front of the engines for the sound pack. Yeah. Even then, the bass is missing. Like that low end frequency is just missing. But let's see how it sounds. So there's Beyond ATC. Should load traffic now. And we can start prepping here. So ID is 3006. Oh my, this thing has that sliding altimeter. that annoying one that's there in the 777. Swish says, I raised it in the PMDG Discord and everyone got mad at me. Huh. Yeah, why would you think that PMDG fanboys won't go mad when you have some constructive criticism, huh? Okay, let's see how the sim brief integration works. Looks like it works fine. Set payload, set fuel. Another thing that I'm really, I wish it worked on this airplane is GSX integration. Like, guys, and the excuse that I've heard from them for not having GSX integration on this airplane is wild. They're like, oh, we need to keep the products the same on console and on PC, and that's why, since it cannot be done on console, we are also not going to do it on the PC version. And I was like, what the heck? What does that even, like, how does that make any sense? Like, you guys literally started from serving the PC flight sim enthusiasts. How can you even say that? But anyway, that's something I wish it worked, just like the way it does on Phoenix, so that, Okay, loading the route now. While that gets done, since we've loaded the fuel, I'm gonna turn the fuel pumps on. It's going up, going down here. Nothing to do here. Emergency lights already good. Fasten seat belts to auto. Nothing to do here as well. Just trying to remember what all we used to do. One good thing is I thought the EFB can now move here. Can it? I thought I saw it on a stream. Gosh, they didn't even apply that. I thought the EFB can move here. Just like on the... there you go. Nice. They did that. Beautiful. So it's that little screw, I guess. And then what do I do? Just click here. Okay, got it. Got it. That's the screw. Okay, so let's go and listen to the meta. Just for the
runway 01 right, 01 center, 01 left. Departing runway 01 right, 01 left, 30. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Juliet. Washington, Delaware, Airport information, Juliet. 1539 Zulu. Wind 350.
We're 45 minutes in and we've not even... What the heck? 45 minutes in, we've not even started the flight. Exofra says, oh my apologies, it was under PMG setup, state save, then just make the name choice state save. After you made the state, then go into startup state and find the state. Oh my god. I think I did that. And it still loads with the stairs. Oh, I see what you're saying. And I missed the QNH again. I think I see what you're saying.
Wind 350 at 3. Visibility 10. Two clouds at 12,000. Temperature 06. Dew point -02. Altimeter 3026. Landing runway 01 right.
3026.
01 center. 01 left.
3026.
Departing runway 01 right. 01 left.
That's high.
30. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Juliet. Washington, Delaware, Airport information, Juliet. 1539.
Okay, IRS.
Wind 350 at 3. Visibility 10. Two clouds with
Turn these on,
12,000.
turn these on.
Temperature 06.
And we'll also turn the APU on. I want to listen to the APU sound from the back.
Runway 01 right, 01 center, 01 left. Departing runway 01 right, 01 left, 30. Advise on initial contact, you have information, Juliet. Washington Dulles Airport information, Juliet. 1539 Zulu. Wind 350 at 3. Visibility 10. Few clouds with 12,000. Temperature 06. Dew point -02. Altimeter 3026. Landing runway 01 right, 01 center, 01 left. Departing runway 01 right, 01 left, 30. Advise on initial contact, you have information, Juliet. Washington Dulles Airport information, Juliet. 1539 Zulu. Wind 350 at 3. Visibility 10. Clouds 12,000. Temperature 06. Dew point -02. Altimeter 3026. Landing runway 01 right, 01 center, 01 left.
Yes, it's starting.
Runway 01 right, 01
Yeah,
left,
sounds good.
30. Advise on initial contact, you have information, Juliet.
Swish is asking, will you be getting chase plane tomorrow? Tomorrow, 100%.
Washington Dulles Airport information, Juliet. 1539 Zulu. Wind 350.
Are they charging for
at 3.
upgrade as well to
Visibility
2024?
10.
Initially they said that if you buy it for 2020, you're going to get it free for
Temperature
24.
06. Dew point -02.
But I would assume that
3026.
this is the trend now.
Landing runway 01 right, 01 center, 01 left.
Yeah, if it's a
Departing
reasonable,
runway
you know,
01 right,
upgrade
01
price,
left,
I'll get it.
30. Advise on initial contact, you have information, Juliet.
Okay, loaded, and let's go to clearance. Request IFR.
Bar clearance to Logan.
American 764, Dulles clearance, cleared to Logan. Jacoby for departure, Swan transition, Dennis filed. Climb via SID, departure frequency 126.65, squawk 0106.
Cleared to Logan. Jacoby for departure. Swan transition. Then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 126.65. Squawk 0106. American 764.
Why does it?
American 764, readback correct. Contact ground 121.9er when ready for pushback or
Why does it? Switch is saying free upgrade. Heck yeah! There we go. That's how it should be. Even that one, I was a little bit on the fence. I was like, I don't like it that they'll charge for the upgrade. But I read it somewhere today that if you have the 2020 version, it'll be free. But it wasn't an official source. If it's, I mean, obviously, if it's free upgrade, then yeah, I have it for 2020. It's one of the best add-ons. Swish added some message, but then it got retracted. Okay. Definitely getting it. It'll be fun to do a stream with chase plane actually. Now that I use track IR, maybe chase plane will be such a good addition to this sim. That's one thing I was definitely missing. Performance tool, import from aircraft, import OFP. What are we doing? Runway 30, right? Gosh, guys, come on. Okay, there you go. It won't import. Import weather. There you go. Calculate. Okay, another thing. Add a button here to push these values to the freaking FMC. How difficult is it? Why? Why are these things so difficult for PMDG? Stuff that other add-on developers just do it. Now I have to sit and type all this. 146. Switch says I didn't get it for 2020, so I'm excited for sure. Yeah. It definitely changes the whole sim. The way you interact with the sim. Takeoff speeds, now it deleted the takeoff speeds. Okay, so I guess I have to type it again. 142. 142. 146. All of this might change as soon as I start flying this airplane, because maybe it just handles like a dream, and then $30 is justified. I assume IRS is aligning. And it's aligned. I think I had it set to instant, if I'm not wrong. Switch says, I've heard awesome things about it. Yes. Definitely worth whatever money it was. I think it was $40, $30 or $40, something like that. Completely changes the way you interact with the sim. Okay, where am I in terms of prep? I have no clue. Departure and arrival. So we are taking runway 30, Jacoby 4, and we're taking the Swan transition, execute. I think that's it. That's all we care about for now. And then here, I guess our squawk is 0106. Am I on off or am I good? Yeah, I think I'm good. And also the weather radar works now, so that's good.
TCAS system test, okay.
Okay, now push and start. Before that, I need to set up the cameras for my engine start, because I don't want to waste the engine start by not having cameras set up correctly. Let's see where we're at here. So I'm thinking one engine start from like ahead somewhere here. Is that fair? So that's one engine start. Control Alt 3, so that saves the camera. And then the other engine start, like Swish was saying, we want it from behind the wing or over the wing. Did you say behind the wing or over the wing? I think you said behind the wing, so that's what we're gonna do. If you said something else, let me know in the comments. There you go. So that's a good angle, I think. So 3, and then maybe for this one I'll do it. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. So this one I'll be doing 8 view. Let's check it out, make sure everything works. Also my zoom settings, Swish says just behind. Okay, got it. Yeah, just behind the wing. And then my zoom settings are messed up, so I need to fix that. 50, there you go. That should look better. Yeah, it does. Okay, so 3 is right in front. I definitely want to hear how it looks like here, and then 8 is my this view, which is what Swish had requested. And then we'll listen to the engine sound from outside. So Swish says wing looks the exact same as 2020. I mean, yeah, it wasn't, there was something wrong with 2020's wing. Also, just a reminder, 12 people watching, 7 likes. Come on, guys. Leave a like. It really helps jam. Okay, and we're going 35,000, and I'll mess with this later. Let's request push and start.
Start.
American 764, Dulles ground, pushback approved, face west.
Pushback and engine start approved, face west, American 764.
Just go United, who cares? Ground ops, door management, arm all. And then ground connections, remove, release. So everything is good there. I have some weird stutters going on. Could be the airport. Oh, and by the way, I'll also start my yoke cam once I start actually flying. So I do have my yoke cam loaded in. I'll just change the thing once I start flying. Excited to hear the sounds. I'm going to turn the sim volume up just a tad bit. Just a tad bit.
All Nippon 101 heavy taxi for departure.
Brakes are already released because I
All
didn't
Nippon 101 heavy, runway 30, taxi via Bravo Zulu, Yankee 11. Runway 30, taxi
Oh,
via Bravo
let's
Zulu,
see
Yankee
how
11.
this
All
goes.
Nippon 101 heavy.
Did I turn on APU bleed? I don't think I did. Gosh. I don't think I did. There you go. APU bleed is on. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting something. Always good. What else? Anti-collision reflex. Okay, let's start. that was the engine start?
Charlie 2 Big Kilo 4 Kilo Echo, United 1875.
I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with my setup. I don't know. Okay, let's start the next one. Hear it from the other view.
Contact Dulles Tower, 34425. Over to Tower, 34425.
What's that? Is that heat blur? No way. Is that heat blur, guys? From the engine? What the heck? It's like I'm sitting in a sauna or something here. Also, like, I don't see what the sounds like. It's, I don't know, it's, I'm just probably deaf. I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you guys hear something that was like completely, you know, is something wrong with my setup? But you guys would hear it, right? Let's say something's wrong with my headphones. I'm recording it through OBS, so you guys would still hear it. I just don't get it. Because I've heard Buddy's sound pack with the same setup, and I was stunned at how good it sounds. So I'm surprised that, like, I couldn't hear anything. Like, that's almost as good as, or maybe, I don't know, it's just different compared to before, but not better. Switch says I sit behind the wing all the time and sounds nothing like that. Yeah, I've traveled southwest a few times. Doesn't sound anything like that. There's a lot of like low end rumble, which this thing just doesn't capture. Yeah, I don't know, man. Anyway, let's taxi to runway. I'm gonna keep the ATC down because I don't think anybody cares about ATC. And while we get taxi instructions, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up my yoke cam so that you guys can see how the yoke movements are translating to real movements in the sim. But yeah, sound so far, I'm not very impressed. Like, I don't know what's going on, honestly. Like, it could be something with my setup, I just don't know. I couldn't hear much. Kinda. Oh, well, okay, hold on. So there's this setting called Dolby Atmos for headphones. When I turned that on, everything just came alive in my headphones. I think Dandazzo did mention that you guys need to enable the spatial sound, otherwise it would just not sound very nice. You know what? I want to hear the engine start just... Sorry guys, I know this is boring, but I want to hear the engine start one more time from the right side, like front of the... Did you guys hear any change in sound just like a minute back when I switched from spatial sound off to Dolby Atmos for headphones? Let me know if you did. Don't Matter says, did you adjust the Windows settings as recommended by... Yes, I did. I just did. But I think that it shouldn't matter for the OBS recording. But you guys should still hear basically recorded audio. I don't know. Switch said, oh, so you didn't said no. I just did. Like I literally just did. I had forgotten about that. Sorry about that. But let's do an engine start one more time, because I'm really curious to hear. So we'll do both engine starts again, just to be fair. I know that's boring, but let's just do one more engine start. Now that I kind of hear everything, like when I flicked that switch, everything just came alive. So let's do it one more time. I'd forgotten about that setting that Randazzo had mentioned. So that's fair. I was like, what is going on? Maybe definitely something is wrong, because this is not how I heard it in the YouTube video. And then I remembered that, oh, there's this spatial sound setting which wasn't turned on. Anyway, so engines are off. Let's start this one again. Now I hear it. Now I hear something. It was almost like everything was muted. Hopefully you guys hear the change too. If not, let me know, because then I would know that it doesn't matter for OBS. Let's give it fuel. Still kind of underwhelming. Still kind of underwhelming. Pretty underwhelming. Not gonna lie, that is not what was advertised. They were talking about the sound pack as if it is some kind of a big deal, as if it's something that justifies a $30 markup on the 2020 product. It's just different, it's not better. Boris is still not out of business, I guess. Way too quiet. Way too quiet. I agree. It's way too quiet. I am still stunned. Is there still something that we are missing here? Is there still something that we are missing here? My volume is turned up to like 50 plus, like 55 or something. And output device, oh, that looks good. System sound. Spatial audio is set to Dolby Atmos for headphones. There's another setting there, Windows Sonic for headphones. That's even more underwhelming. Dolby Atmos for headphones sounds the best out of the three, but then it's still not. It's way too. I don't like it. Gregorio says, but they said turn on spatial sound. Yes, I did that, and it still didn't change much for me. Yeah, it sounds different, but it didn't change much for me. The engine start should be much louder, and there should be a lot of rumble going on, and I just don't hear it. Anyway, you know what? I am going to start streaming with my yoke camera so that you guys can see what's going on here. Because now the only thing that can really impress me is the way it hand flies. So let me load up my camera, and Gregorio says Buddy sounds better. Yes, he does. What do they think? Do they think that we've never been in a 737 before on a passenger seat at different locations? And they're saying that, oh, sounds are subjective and everyone perceives sound differently. Like, yeah, but like, at least capture the basic, and then the details are different, I agree. But do you think that we've never been in a 737 before? Like, that comment really pissed me off. Like, yeah, sounds are perceived different by everyone. Like, sure, but this is basic stuff, right? Insane. Gregorio says another paid plane that we have to pay for sound pack. We have to pay for the sound pack. Yeah. It's annoying at this point, to be honest. Okay, I'm gonna turn on my yoke cam. Hopefully you guys can see the yoke cam now. And I have the light set up in a way that it looks good. But again, I'm limited by how good my phone camera is. So I'm gonna zoom in a bit, at least so that it's apparent how the yoke movements are looking like. Okay, that looks good. And is this zero rumble? Yeah, there's no rumble at all. Nothing. Okay, I don't know how these other streamers are defending this. I just don't know, dude. Okay, let's see how the ground handling is. Okay, so this is another complaint that I had with PMDG, is that it handled more like a general aviation airplane. It did not handle like a heavy airplane on the ground. So let's see how the ground handling is. And let me make sure that I have my taxi clearance. I do. I will turn on the taxi lights and also get the engine generators on. Continuous. Everything here is good. Stacks can come on. The bleed can come off. The mic says plain audio is drowning your voice a bit now. How is it now? Tell me if that's better now. I hate that every time I reset the view, it goes back to that seat view. Hopefully it's better now. Okay, let's get going. Gosh, Why does it go back to that seat view every time? Yeah, let's see how. Let's see how the ground handling is. Already at idle, it's not moving. I thought they had adjusted that. Switch is saying that I'm not looking forward to the new 777 sounds anymore. I'm buying Boris. Yeah, you're probably going to get Echo 19 sounds. I don't know, someone else worked on it. I already have Boris sound pack for both of these airplanes, so for me it's just about when he upgrades it, I'm gonna get it. It's going to keep going to this back seat. I don't know why. Maybe I can figure something out. Settings. Let's see. PCA yoke search bar. Doesn't happen on any other airplane. Yeah, load custom camera 1. That's all it's assigned to. But for some reason on PMDG, it resets back to that seat view, and then I have to press it again to reset it back to this cockpit view. So it's an airplane specific problem. It's not mine. So every time I press this, it goes back to this view, and then I have to press it again to load custom camera 1. Anyway, let's get moving. How is the ground handling? Oh, also track IR. Difference in ground handling. That's Yankee. That's Delta. I don't see much of a difference. Still kind of behaves as if it's a Cessna 170. It does have a tiller, and I don't have a real tiller, so I cannot reliably comment on it. It just, doesn't feel like a heavy airplane. Switch says this is what someone replied to me on PMDG Discord. Our sounds have been set up to be hyper realistic. We trust the 737 type rated sound engineer we have and staff to know exactly what it sounds like. Yeah. What about those millions of passengers who have sat like day in and day out on those seats, hearing how the engine sounds like, and also how the engine rumbles on takeoff and stuff like that. Switch, and while we do appreciate that it may not be cinematic or base boosted, it is realistic. Well, I guess I would say that we have a choice to not buy their add-ons, and we still keep buying, right? If there's nothing else available. They can't accept constructive criticism. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like, so far the sounds are just whatever. Like I'll leave Boris. Because I agree that I would not know how it sounds like in the cockpit. I would not know how it sounds like from the outside. But I do know how it sounds like from the window. Because I'm not type rated, but I am a type rated passenger. So anyway, the ground handling is okay, I would say. It's a little bit twitchy on the ground. But maybe that's because I don't have a Also, one thing that I also doubt is that the cockpit textures don't look like they were redone or anything. Textures look very similar to what they had on 2020, so it's not like they've redone the cockpit texture. But again, for that, right, hold on to that, because I'll do a different video which covers only cockpit textures. Gregorio says performance is good though, as usual, but same time textures are not high. So it's all trade-offs. We did compare Phoenix versus PMDG head-on, and PMDG was like 5 to 10 FPS better than Phoenix. So that's a huge difference. So I'm not saying I'm not okay with these textures. It's just that it hasn't changed from what it was in 2021, what I can tell. But we'll look at that in detail. Jasco is asking, what do you think of Explain 12? I'm on MSFS 2020, still want to upgrade 24 or 12. I would say from the out of the box feel that you have, I would say 2024 is the way to go right now. Even though Explain is a more superior sim in terms of flight dynamics and stuff, I would say Explain 24 is the way to go. Is that a 172? It is. Look at that. Oh, maybe it's a Kodiak or something. Yeah, it's a Kodiak. Anyway, we're good to go. Guys, ready? Are you guys ready? Ready for the takeoff? Flaps 5, landing lights. That's nice. Okay, let's get going. We'll go to the wing view and listen to the engine spool up, and then we'll leave. So if someone's behind us, they're gonna have to wait. Okay, let's see how this thing first of all sounds and then flies. Slow spool up, and I'm gonna shut up. underwhelming. Where am I heading? Sure. Very underwhelming. But whatever. We know now that we need buddies. How does it fly? I think it flies amazing. It has enough, like it feels like a heavy enough airplane. It flies really good. But how different is it from 2020? I'm not detail oriented enough to comment on that. That's something you'll have to rely on, like someone like V1 to comment on. Something wrong in this game. I think something to do with my controls. But yeah, it flew well. I don't know how much different from 2020, but it flew well. We'll turn on the cam again once we see how it follows the LNAV path here. I have a pretty tight turn. It flies really well. I've never had a complaint with how the 777 flies either. It flew really well. I also enjoyed flying the 737-700 in 2020. So that much I can say that compared to the 700, it does feel like a heavier plane. It does not feel like I'm flying the 737-700. 700 felt much more responsive, much more like twitchy on controls, which is how it should be, like smaller airplane. This one 800, it feels like there is some weight. There's some weight to the airplane. So definitely flies well. I'm not gonna sit here and complain about how it flies, because it flies well, just like it has, right? Somewhere I heard that they've changed the way it flies and stuff. Like I can't tell. I can't comment on it because one, I don't have 737-800 for 2020, and second, I'm not a type-rated pilot. So that's something V1 or someone like that would have to comment on. A330 driver can comment on it, but then again, he's associated with PMDG in a way that he's a beta tester, right? So like if I was a beta tester, I would be a little bit, like you can say that, yeah, really honest and stuff. There's always a little bit of bias. But the sounds are just not hitting me. Just not hitting me. I think I need to okay, lights off, and now we are going to test the capability of the airplane to do 4x and 8x. In the past it has not crashed, so I'm expecting that it doesn't crash, but I'm just waiting for our clearance to 35,000 and then we're going to do sim rate to 8x. The sounds are just not hitting me, man. Jasco says I bought PMDG 737-900 on 2020, really good plane. Yeah, I don't have the 900. I only had 700, and I had only 700. And now I have this 800 for 2024. I'm not gonna upgrade my 700 for 2024 because like $30 or whatever, like 60% discount doesn't make sense to me for a 24 upgrade. But I did buy 800 because I do not have any 800 NG on this sim. So yeah. What clearance do we have? Climb, maintains. Okay. I think we should have the clearance to go 35,000 soon, and then we are going to go maximum compression up to 16x. Oh my god. I don't think 16x would be reliable, so let's start with 8x and let's see how everything performs and stuff. I know the gear lever should be in this center position, but for some reason I just can't get it down here. Yeah, it just won't work. Like I think it has something to do with my Bravo throttle quadrant and the way the controls are set up. I really hope Boris comes up with an update to the sound pack, because I don't like the way this default PMDG sounds. Look at that cloud cover. That looks amazing, man. SU4 has definitely cooked. Gregorio says, yeah, it's not immersive at all. What makes it worse is the way they were speaking about the sounds like it's next level. That's exactly what I said. Yeah, they sold it as if it's some kind of a revolutionary sound pack that nobody has done before, And then when you compare Phoenix out of the box, Phoenix sounds like 100 times better than this after doing all this work. So I don't know, man. Like, props to all the hard work, but like when it doesn't show, like I don't know what to say. Like, you guys know I'd be the first one to appreciate where credit is due, because like that's how this channel goes. I'm not paid from anyone. I don't get any free stuff. I could, but I don't. And then also none of the videos are sponsored or anything. So so far I'll say that they far exceeded expectations. They far exceeded expectations in performance. Like, you have to give that to them. I have not seen a product as optimized and as detailed as PMDG does it. Where I'll take points off is pricing strategy, sounds. That's the two things that I have a big problem with, is the way they price their products compared to how the competition prices it, and their sounds. Jasco is saying, oh man, you've come so far from your first graphics guide video. Amazing graphics. Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Michael Roberto says, still using Rex Atmos. I am not actually. I'm not using Rex Atmos today. You know what? That's a good reminder. I actually forgot about it. Let me get Rex Atmos going real quick. I totally forgot about it. Okay, it should be. You should see it in just a minute. It's loading in. Oh, by the way, if you guys haven't liked the video, like the video, because it helps the channel a lot. At least that's something I like to see. Okay, so now Atmos is on. I like how the horizon just changed with Atmos on. I like that. Love that. Look at that, guys. Look at that. That looks amazing. Amazing. Oh boy. And we forgot about the clearance, of course. This channel is all about forgetting stuff while flying. Look at that, guys. Look at that. That's amazing. Switch said, only if they hired Boris, the world would be a better place. I mean, do you think they even bought the Boris soundtrack and kind of listened to it? I don't know. Gregorio says exactly, just price and sounds and livery. Livery, I think I would let it go. You get so many liveries from all these individual contributors that it doesn't even matter. But yeah, sounds 100%. Jasco says, 2 questions, bro. 1, G-Sync or just V-Sync? Reflex off, on boost. Okay. I used to run V-Sync, now I run G-Sync, but how you set it up depends heavily on your setup and the performance that you're getting and things like that. What monitor you have, what kind of refresh rate you have on your monitor, things like that. But right now I can tell you that my setup is I run G-Sync and I run 3 or 4x MFG because I have a 240 Hertz monitor, so I like to get my frames per second as close as possible to 240, if not 240. And then reflex, I've just left it off. I haven't seen any noticeable difference with and without it, so I've just left it off. by the way, imagine what if Boris comes up with the 2024 sounds update, and then now he charges another $10 for that. That would be wild. That would be absolutely wild. So then that makes this add-on, think about it. So that makes this PMDG 737-800 $120 add-on with good sounds. $120 add-on. Because it's $74.99, right, for 2020. Then you pay $10 for the Boris audio pack. Now you paid 40% of that price again, so that makes it $100, $110, and then $120 for another upgrade to the sound pack, assuming that he charges for the sound pack again. If he charges for the sound pack again, I'll have to reconsider. Because what I have this feeling that Boris is going to be like, hey, you know, they've changed the way they handle sounds. Like PMDG has changed the way they handle sounds, and so now his sound pack will not work with the way PMDG has set up sounds for 2024. So he will be like, oh, I need to completely rework my sound pack to be able to make it work with the current PMDG setup. I don't know, I'm just guessing, but imagine that happens. And then it's a $120 add-on basically for 2 SIMs. Gregorio says, have you tried to run no G-Sync, no V-Sync, use X3, X4 frame gen to match your monitor hertz? I am not able to match my monitor refresh rate even if I go 4x MFG. That's the problem. If the sim gets optimized a bit more and I'm able to like maximize performance and get to, let's say, 240 hertz, that'd be golden. That'd be amazing. Gregorio says that would be crazy because it's so needed. I know, man. Like I am so sure that this guy is going to come back and say that the way they're handling sounds now, I have to rework my whole pack. And that's why now I'm going to charge $10 again. I am so convinced that that's what's going to happen. Switch says that's what I was thinking. Yeah. Dude, like I can't even... I'm waiting for that day when I read that post and then I'll clip this part of the video and upload a short. Like, I'm so convinced that that's what's going to happen. Because like, listen to this. There's a lot more rumble in real world when you're sitting right next to the engine like this. And same way here, right? There's a lot more rumble. What? Oh, okay. I'm on 8x. I was like, what the heck is wrong with my wingtip? If you're watching and haven't liked the video, make sure you leave a like. Helps the channel, helps my motivation. Because I don't make any money from this channel. So that's the best you can do for me. I don't need your donations or anything like that. Just like the video, subscribe to the channel. That's all I ask for. Okay, let's get this thing back. OFP will be at top of cruise here. I just want to plan my arrival. Uh, 22 left, ILS 22 left, and then we have Roduk 3. It's a long arrival, man. JFK. Execute. Okay. Why does it keep chiming me? Shut up. keeps chiming, dude. What is that? Does anyone know? Why does it keep chiming? My god. Every time I click, it chimes. Yeah, just keeps dinging every time I click around the cockpit. What? Yeah, that's a bug. Every time I click and move the camera, you'll hear this thing. It's like ding, we work the sound pack. Ding, here's the sound pack. Ding, $30. Ding. Switch says you definitely can't hear fuel pumps when climbing. Gregorio, maybe it's gonna cost a real cup of coffee. Yeah. Yeah, for like, how is $30 a couple of coffees? Like the last I know, the latte costs around like $4 or $5. Like where the heck is this guy having coffees? Like even fancy coffees are like $10, and a couple of those would be like 20. Switch says 12 months of work from PMDG or supposedly 5 man-years of yeah. Ding, ding, ding. What note is it? I think it's C. Let's play this. C note audio. Ding, ding. Gosh, can't even figure out. It's probably some minor note. It's definitely not C. Yeah, that's really annoying. Can we turn it off somehow? I don't know. What if we... Okay, so if you turn off fasten seatbelt signs, then this thing turns off. If you turn fasten seatbelt signs to on, auto,
Traffic.
then this thing turns on. Traffic. Let's see if it stays on. No, so it goes away on as well. So yeah, just don't keep it on auto unless you want to keep hearing this. I'm just gonna turn it on. There you go. So now you won't hear this annoying dings. Swish says this screams revolutionary sound pack.
Traffic light.
Yep. They really wanted to
Clear
make you
of
hear
conflict.
the revolutionary dings. So yeah, don't leave this thing on auto. Anyway, we are going 8x and it looks like we are doing fine. So how about we go 16x? 16. I haven't seen any airplane offer 16x yet. So that's amazing. I'm excited. Now the next thing I'm excited for is to see how this thing lands. Because I used to really love landing the 737-700. And I also love flying the iFly 737 MAX. That handles decent. I don't know if how real it is or anything, but it handles decent. So I'm excited to see how this compares to that. I also like, okay, so the good things, right? Good things. We're all like positive people here. We need to appreciate when there's good things in the add-on. I love the way they've handled the auto cruise. So whenever the airplane is turning, it automatically goes to sim rate of 1, and then it slowly, as it stabilizes, it goes up to whatever your max time compression you have set to. So that's amazing. I love that. Because you don't want to overshoot on your turns and stuff while you are in this thing. Oh, we're already at top of descent. Let's get this off and let's start descending. That was quick. I wish Rahul was here. I really miss him right now. Talking to him about this would have been so much fun. Maybe next stream. Rahul is, by the way, my friend. He has been simming with me for like more than 10 years now. Used to be in the same college. But yeah, hearing his thoughts would have been really nice. I think he might be already messaging me on on WhatsApp. Let me see if he's on actually. It'll be a lot of fun to yeah, I just told him to come on. He's not on Discord, but let's see if he can chime in as well. It'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so we're back on VNAV path. How I like how it captured. Holy shit, like my room is heating up like crazy right now. It's almost like I'm in a boiler. I'm definitely going to have a headache. I'm frying right now. It's a smaller room, and then also my door is shut, so all that PC heat is just getting, I'm literally sweating. And then we have this long ass arrival here. Let's see. Gosh, let me figure out what to do with this heat, because I'm frying. Alright, I'm back. Just opened up the window. Hopefully that helps. My cooler shows that it's at 48C. It has never been at this temps. It's because I've never streamed for this long in a while at this new place. If the AC was on, it would be fine. Just that heater is on because the rest of the house is kind of cold. But then this room, the heat just gets trapped. Okay, I want to want to take control of the airplane a little bit early so that we can fully hand fly up to the end. So let's see, arrival, approach, 22 left. Also just like add a starred something, you know, so that you can easily look for this stuff. It's a quality of life stuff, man. So what altitudes? 1700s. We'll just directly go to that. Okay, and then radio is going to be 200 and 215. In the box there. All of this is fine. I think I'll just have to skip maybe one vector here. There you go. Put that in. That should be good. And then localizer frequency is 110.3, so we put that in. 1103. Swap. 11. Look at that. There's no click spot here. There is 1103 and swap. Okay. So we are ready for the approach then. I have time compression on, but it just doesn't think it can reliably do time compression right now, so it's not doing it. And then for auto brakes, let's make sure we go through this landing dispatch. Which one is it? I think it's this one. 22 left, import weather, flap config will be 30. Sure, yeah, let's do 30. Auto brakes 3. Okay, so we have enough runway. If we go auto brakes 2, calculate, yeah, let's just go auto brakes 3, because I am not sure if we'll be able to get reversers, so we just go auto brakes 3 here. It's a long arrival, man. I think it did 2x right now. No, still 1x. Okay. I do want to keep this window open so that we remember to turn this off when time comes. One add-on that I would say has completely changed the way my sim looks is Active Sky. The cloud formations with Active Sky look stunning. Keeps doing that too. What's the QNH looking like? Let's see. boss. QNH is 3022. Do that. Oh my god. This thing is so sketchy. Like it has this weird lag in it. So you can't even reliably set it. My god. That's painful. This weird lag. Maybe it's because of the sim rate? I don't think so. Yeah, it still has that lag. Man, that's very weird. Even if it's realistic, like I would not want that to be realistic. That's very annoying. Gregorio is asking, so active sky gets rid of the grainy clouds? I don't think it gets rid of, like it doesn't change the way, it doesn't change the clouds itself, but I just feel like the cloud structure is way better with active sky. Like you actually get to see these flatter clouds. While in MSFS, you will see that all the clouds are just cumulus. Like it's very cumulus dominant. While with active sky, you get this different types of cloud formation, which is what I like. If that makes sense. So it definitely doesn't get rid of grain or anything. Like if you're seeing grain, you will see it. Even here. It just changes the way the cloud structure is. Also, the turbulence through clouds and all that is a bit better, I would say. Let's zoom into these textures. Like what has changed? Maybe this grunge wasn't there before and they added that. Like I'll have to really compare these textures in 2020 versus 2024. I don't know, maybe they just added this grunge. That's gonna be a whole long video of comparing just one-to-one screenshots of 2024 versus 2020. Right, we are getting close to a point where I need to start my camera, but I'll wait for a little bit longer because my phone heats up quite a bit when I'm running Camo Studio. It doesn't even matter anymore, but Gregorio says, alright, I didn't know that it had turbulence. Yeah, there is a lot of if you've watched my active sky video, you will see that there's a lot of options available. So let me see. So there's cloud options, there's simulator depiction options, there's cloud density adjustment. Let me see where turbulence, wind options, turbulence effect scale, turbulence rotational effect preference, maximum wind turbulence, maximum wind shear. So there are all these settings which you can mess. I haven't messed with any of those. I've just set it up. Enable 250. I get it. I love the performance. That's something they've really nailed it. Performance is amazing. Okay, 10,000 landing lights, runway turn off, continuous. What else? Oh, what's the landing altitude? We forgot to set that up. This is off, so I'll get this out of the way. Flight back. Landing altitude is, I guess we're good. Pretty much 0. So all that is fine. Oh, okay. This was off, that should not be off. Gregorio says, but I only fly with live weather. Is it heavy on performance? No. No difference at all. 0 difference in performance between ASFS and live weather. And it depicts live weather way better than the MSFS live weather. At least for me, that's what I have seen. Yes, this is all active sky cloud depiction. If I had to say like minimum list of add-ons to buy, I'd probably say Active Sky, Rex Atmos, Chase Plane once it comes out tomorrow, and what else? Reshade, but that's free, so that's one. Looks like it's routing me to 33 left, which I don't want to go to. I'm just gonna land 22 left. Because I like this approach. I like this. If I were to come from this side, I would just be flying over water for a while. This, on the other hand, is a nice approach because you can see downtown on the other end and city on this side as well, because we'll do replay. Let me also get a replay going, and I'll also turn on my landing rate monitor too. I don't know if you guys will see that, but I will see it. But I'll let you know what the landing rate was as soon as I see it. Michael Roberto is asking for Atmos. Are you using all 3 options or just atmospheric? I'm using I have my profiles uploaded, by the way. I'm using weather, Atmos and Enviro, all 3 of them. Yeah, all 3 of them. But there are very subtle changes in the third one, I think. There's not a lot going on with that one. 3033. I'm pretty sure Beyond ATC doesn't know what it's doing with the altimeter. Is there some setting here which lets me set which weather engine it looks at? Let me see. No, I don't see anything. Anyway, we'll just land. Michael Roberto is asking, still using reshade? Yes, still using reshade. Still using the same preset. The only thing that I change is like color, temperature, and a little bit of contrast. So this is without reshade, with reshade. I'll show it to you from outside here. Without reshade, with reshade. Okay, getting close to landing here, so I'm gonna turn on the camera so that we are not fumbling at the end. Let me set it up. Device, my phone. Okay, there you go. First landing with landing rate tool is on. Yes, landing rate tool is on. Replay is on as well. And then I'll turn on track. Cloud looks weird. I think it's because of Atmos messing with the settings. It looks very separated from the whole scene. Like I said, we want to get the airplane to handle KM Blaze is asking, is there any update to the exterior textures as well? They said there would be. I can tell. I think there is, like it's just more shiny. I don't know. You tell me. I'll do more detailed video textures comparison. Right now it's just all like I can't tell. And even on that video I'll have to go by the texture comparison between 700 and I don't want the 820. I'm not buying it. Okay. I think this is the point where I not need to do that. This is the point where I just disable autopilot. We have everything set up, so we're going to do a full manual landing here. Manual as in still ILS, but without autopilot. You get the point. I can tell this plane flies stable. I love the way it flies. Reiterate again, that's the only problem I have with PMDG is pricing and sounds. Sounds is solved with worries, so the only problem then is pricing. Otherwise it flies so well. I was missing this in 2024. It flies amazing. I can bet that I'm gonna have a really good landing. I can tell already. 100% gonna have an amazing one. Equalizer captured. Flight director should follow localizer. And then light slope. Still about 20 miles away, so I don't want to slow down too much. Flaps 2-1 is good enough right now. Then when we hit that decel mark, we start dumping flaps again. So much fun to fly manual throughout. It feels amazing to hand. Swish is asking, does it feel good to hand fly? It feels amazing to hand fly. It feels like there's some weight to the airplane, and like I can't really explain. It feels like a heavy airplane. It's how airliners should feel. It feels amazing. I love the way it hand flies. Definitely amazing way it hand flies. where it's due, it feels good. And flying feels good. Let's go one more notch of flaps here. Gregorio says, yeah, it lands good. Yeah, I can feel it. I can just feel it while I'm flying. I can just tell that this thing is going to land so well. I'm just making like small corrections. It's just going. Being able to follow the flight directives to a T. Light slope above to be captured. And we are at now roughly 10 miles. The 737 slows down pretty fast, so I'm not very nervous about getting this thing to the approach speeds. Do need to remember to get my replay on, because otherwise we won't be able
2,500.
to see the runway now. I want to stay at this altitude just for the light slope is captured. I was getting a little worried that we were just trailing the light slope. I don't want to get the auto throttle off just yet. Just to see. Let's go flaps. And let's also get down. Swiss says just need the FFB yoke. Yeah, soon, bro. Soon. We'll get it. I feel like I wanted it to mature a bit, the whole FFB 3000. I wanted the FFB tech to mature a little bit, but I think I might get it next year. Oh, you know what? Of course. Of course.
$1,000.
Now you're all messed up. Okay.
Light slope. Light slope. Light slope.
My hands on the throttle. Been a while since we landed this. Tracker is also not helping. Totally messed up my view here. Totally messed up my view there. I think we'll make it.
500.
Tracker totally messed me up there.
400. 300. 200.
Any idea?
Approaching minimums. minimums. 30, 20, 10.
Forgot to record. Of course, I forgot to record. Gosh. Oh. Also, I was not on landing fields.
Airspeed low.
Short field.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow.
Flag is like we landed in.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
Let's do it again, because why not? Okay, we're gonna stay at 1700. Get the approach arm, start recording, and we'll cut it short a little bit.
1000.
Let's see how it goes. I was not satisfied with that landing. How bad that approach was because of all the issues, the view and stuff. That was not nice. Wow, it's gonna be an actually a nice one. I know the landing gear is down.
Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow. Glide slow.
Okay, now record. Stop forgetting to record, man. Too slow. Let's keep it at like 130. Arrow source.
500.
That was a little bit of something. Again, high. That's fine.
400.
At least I'm now recording this one.
300. 200. Approaching minimums. 100. Minimums. 30. 20. 10.
Minus 170 FPS. That wasn't the point though. We had good FPM last time. That wasn't the point. The point was I forgot to record. Okay. Now let's get the video.
Too low. Don't sink. Terrain. Don't Too sink. Low. Terrain. Too low.
Back up. This thing out of the way. And let's see, put 5. And this is how I set up my camera for you. Do this, and then you do this, and then just go a little bit further away. Okay. And then you zoom in. Okay. So you zoom in and then disable this, center it up, enable this auto. That brings up this whole blur effect. And now you can zoom in and zoom out and it will just stay on the aircraft. So anyone who was curious how you can record these videos, that's how. And now let's see the landing. What the heck is with this landing gear? I think it's a MSFS problem.
Too low. Terrain.
I don't have my speed brakes bound to anything, so you know what? It's painful to do this.
Too low. Terrain.
Let me just bind it.
Terrain. Too low. 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 Terrain.
Yeah, good enough. Okay, let's do this. Resume. Pretty smooth landing. Watch it one more time.
Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain.
I don't know what's with these landing gears. Like they show up really late. Nice. Yeah, we definitely need Boris audio pack. Anyway, one more time from the wing view and then I'll leave you guys to it.
Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain.
Thank you guys for tuning in, especially to Swish and Gregorio, and who else was there? KM Plays, Michael, everyone for keeping the chat alive. I am going to leave you to this and hope you guys have a good rest of the week and also this weekend. Have fun flying the 737 if you're going to fly this. See you guys on the next video. I'll do a comparison video of textures and all these things between the 700 and the 800 between 2020 and 2024. See you guys on that video or any other shots that I upload. So yeah, bye. Oh, look at that. Delta and United are having kids.